Hey YouTube, this is game 3 from that Spellbound Pokemon League. This is against my opponent Rick. He's playing straight Dragapult. I'm playing Gardevoir EX. Let's see what happens here. I'm just checking out his cool ability use markers. Those are pretty sweet. Alright, we've got the dice roll. Each got our cards. I forget who's going first here, but we shall see. Alright, laying out our prizes. Alright. Looks like my opponent is going first. He plays a Buddy Poffin. Grab a Dreepy. Grab a Badoo. I've got a Drifloon on my active spot. Gardevoir versus Dragapult is usually a favorable matchup for Gardevoir because of Lily's Clefairy. Lily's Clefairy has an ability that basically makes all Dragon Pokemon weak to Psychic Pokemon instead. So, you're going to definitely try to get that down at some point during the game. My opponent is electing to retreat the Dreepy into the Badoo. Plays Night Stretcher to get the Dreepy back. Or, why did they play Night Stretcher? Oh, Night Stretcher the energy. Get it back in their hand. I bench a Ralts. I play Urson Vessel to grab 2 Psychic Energy, discarding one of them. Just looking through my deck to see what I've got available here. Alright, I attach an energy to Drifloon. Oh. Almost attached a Bravery Charm, but then remembered that actually I need to attach a TM Evo. So I use Ultra Ball to discard a Bravery Charm and a Psychic Energy to grab another Ralts. I'm going to get a Badoo locked here with Itchy Pollen, so I'm not going to be able to play items on my next turn, so I should try to play any items in my hand if I can. I use Professor's Research to discard an Iono and draw 7 new cards, and pass the turn to my opponent. I was hoping to draw into a TM Evo there, but I whiffed. My opponent plays a Nest Ball. I have 7 cards in my hand still. Yep. Nest Ball for a Genesect with the Ace Nullifier ability. If he has a tool attached to it, that means I will not be able to play any Ace Spec cards from my hand. Alright. Plays Ultra Ball, discarding 2 cards to grab a Dracloak. Dracloak has an ability called Recon Directive. Recon Directive will allow my opponent to look at the top 2 cards of their deck, pick one of them, keep it in their hand, and replace the other at the bottom of the deck. My opponent decides to play an Iono. We still have each 6 prizes here, so we each get 6 fresh cards. After my opponent attaches a Fire Energy to the Dracloak and attaches a Luxurious Cape, a tool card, to that Genesect. Now I'm limited in my ability to use any A-Spec cards from my hand, which is a huge bummer. But the downside of the Luxurious Cape is that my opponent's Genesect is now a 2-prize Pokemon, but it has 100 extra HP. My opponent benches a Monkey Dory, and then uses Itchy Pollen, putting 10 damage on my Drifloon. And now I may not play any item cards. So I play Iono here. Get 6 new cards each. Alright, get the TM Evo, and I use Evolution to evolve my 2 Ralts on the bench into Kirlias, and the turn goes to my opponent. So my opponent could evolve into a Dragapult here and start attacking if he wishes. If he has another Psychic Energy or Luminous Energy, he decides to evolve into Dracloak, then evolve into Dragapult EX. Deciding what to do. My opponent uses Recon Directive, keeps 1 card, puts it at the bottom of the deck. Attaches a Luminous Energy, retreats into the Dragapult EX. Now the Dragapult EX is fully powered up in the active, swinging for 200 damage, and it will move 60 damage onto my benched Pokemon in any way they like. It might have been better to wait to attack here until they could set up their board a little bit more. Maybe get a Dark Energy on the Monkey Dory. 1, 2, 3, yeah, get another Dreepy into play. But my opponent decides to play Iono. Because if I can evolve into Gardevoir, this Dragapult is at risk of being knocked out if I can get a Lily's Clefairy on the bench. Alright, my opponent uses Phantom Dive for 200, knocking out my Drifloon. I promote a Kirlia with 30 damage on it. My other Kirlia also has 30 damage on it. So in this turn, my goal is going to be to get a Gardevoir EX out, and then try to get a Lily's Clefairy on the bench so I can knock out this Gardevoir. So I use Arven. Probably going to get a Nest Ball. Yep. Nest Ball is going to search for Lily's Clefairy. I don't think that I grab a tool from here, because the tools really aren't as useful anymore. I did grab one. Yeah, I grabbed a Ultra Ball. No. I grabbed a Nest Ball, and I used Ultra Ball to discard TM Evolution and a Psychic Energy to get Gardevoir, evolve the active, then use Nest Ball to get a Lily's Clefairy. Put that on the bench. Now the Dragapult is weak to Psychic Pokemon, so Gardevoir EX will be able to knock out this Gardevoir, doing a 190 times 2, so 380 damage for the knockout. I Psychic Embrace 3 energies onto the Gardevoir, putting 60 damage on it, and then knock out the Dragapult EX using Miracle Force, taking 2 prizes. I also had attached a Bravery Charm onto my Lily's Clefairy, giving it 240 HP instead of 190. My opponent decides to Recon Directive. It's going to be tough to get another Dragapult going, since he can only attach 1 energy per turn unless he has a Crispin. Decides to use the other Recon Directive on the other Cloak. Bench of Serendipity, use Flip the Script to draw 3 cards, since I did take a knockout that last turn. My opponent attaches a Luminous Energy. Luminous Energy is a special energy. It provides 1 energy of every type as long as it's attached to a Pokemon. If you attach another special energy to that Pokemon, the Luminous Energy just becomes a colorless energy. So it's good for decks that use 2 different energy types. So Luminous plus Fire or Luminous plus a Psychic will fully power up one of the Dragapults. My opponent elects to grab the the Dragapult EX and evolve the Cloak with the Luminous. Alright, my opponent decides to Pollen. I'm not able to use items this turn. On my turn, I evolve my other Kirlia into Gardevoir. I use Artisan. Artisan's going to get us a Screamtail. And grab the Screamtail, put it on our bench there. Right, retreat Gardevoir, discarding 2 Psychic into the Screamtail. I'm going to Psychic Embrace 3 Psychic Energies. Now Screamtail's Roaring Scream is doing 120 damage, and I'm using Roaring Scream to take out the bench Dracloak. Just double checking the damage amount here. Alright, take 1 prize, and now it's my opponent's turn. Alright, my opponent decides to use Flip the Script to draw 3 additional cards. Attach a Fire Energy from hand to the Dragapult. Defiance Band. Attach Defiance Band to the Dragapult. That does an additional 30 damage since they're behind on prizes. So now Phantom Dive is doing 230. Still not enough to knock out the Clefairy. Attaches a Bravery Charm to that benched Badoo. It now has 80 HP instead of 30, preventing a free kind of prize. And my opponent is going to Phantom Dive my Clefairy for just shy of the knockout, hitting for 230. Leaving my Clefairy with 10 HP left. And then we'll see how he kind of spreads the damage onto the bench. Right, my opponent grabs an Unfair Stamp. Ultra Ball, Badoo, Ultra Ball away, Buddy Poffin. To grab Blood Moon Ursaluna. Blood Moon Ursaluna has 260 HP. It has an attack for 240 damage that costs 5 colorless energies. Its ability, I think it's on Season Skill or something like that, essentially says for each prize card your opponent has taken, it costs 1 energy less. So Blood Moon can attack for 1 energy instead of 5 energy when the opponent, which is me, has 2 prizes left. If I have 1 prize left, it could attack for free. So my opponent benches the Blood Moon Ursaluna, uses Unfair Stamp. So we shuffle our hands into our deck. My opponent's going to draw 5 cards. I'm going to draw 2 cards. Double checking the damage amount here. Unfortunately, just shy of the knockout. And it's going to put the rest of the damage on the Screamtail, knocking it out, taking a prize. So now my Clefairy is kind of trapped in the active. I can't, unless I attach a Psychic from hand to retreat, that's going to make it pretty difficult. What I need to do is get a Monkey Dory down with the Dark Energy, so I can move some of that damage off of it, so then I can Psychic Embrace to it and then retreat. So I use Artisan to get that Monkey Dory. Play Earthen Vessel, discarding a counter catcher, it looks like, for a Dark Energy and a Psychic Energy. Attach Dark to Monkey Dory on the bench. And I think I'm going to use Adrenabrain to remove 30 damage onto the Badoo. I'll use Psychic Embrace to attach 1, retreat, putting another 20 on there. Promote Gardevoir. Psychic Embrace 3 energies for another 60 damage onto it. And then knock out their Dragapult for 2 prizes. I have 1 prize remaining. My opponent has 4 prizes. So I'm in a pretty good spot here. I have 2 Gardevoir in play. I've got a Monkey Dory in play. I've got a Clefairy. I need some way to take a knockout on one of the benched Pokemon or the active. If I have some way to recover a Screamtail, that could do it. Could take out the Badoo. If I could get probably Screamtail or Mew EX would be the best plays here. My opponent's deciding what to do. Alright, and uses Blood Moon's attack to knock out Gardevoir, taking 2 prizes. So on my turn, I use Ultra Ball to discard 2 Psychic. Use Night Stretcher. Promote Mew EX. Psychic Embrace 3 energies onto the Mew EX. Use Adrenabrain to move 20 of that, or 30 of that damage onto the Blood Moon. And then use Genome Hacking to copy Blood Moon's attack and take the knockout for my last prize. Alright, on to the next.